Hello and welcome back to Popcorn and Plot Holes. I remembered the title this week. I'm very proud of myself.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
We watched the movie known in some parts of the world as Project Extraction with an X, no EX, X dash traction. I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
Pornhub.
Maybe. Specifically in North America, or at least Canada, where we watch these things. It is Hidden Strike, the China vehicle, I'm going to call.
That sounds so...
Chinese vehicle? I mean, tell me it wasn't.
The China plus John Cena vehicle.
Yeah. We watched Hidden Strike with starring Jackie Chan and John Cena, primarily. I don't know any of the other actors in the movie by name. We can bring them up.
Kung Lao was in it.
Was he really?
Yeah, from the new Mortal
not the
Kombat.
new
Kung
one.
Lao.
Get out of here.
Man, Euron Greyjoy is in this. He's
Oh,
Owen.
That's
True.
right, he is. That's
Yes.
where I know him
Yeah.
from.
He's always
Owen
wearing
looked.
beard.
Anyways, with me, as always, I have Luciano and Chris. Without us, without him, as always,
without
us?
Spencer.
As always.
Yeah,
Within us and without us.
Spencer.
Decided to be in parts unknown.
Our extra special guest Spencer is not here, so it's just the three of us talking about Hidden Strike. Let's dive into this movie because there's no better way to approach it than just get whatever we feel off our chests.
Full frontal.
As it
Yes.
were. Hidden Strike is a movie that, if you didn't watch it, spoilers, is about the oil wars.
People.
I want to know what your favorite part of the Hidden Strike Project Extraction. Wait, it's hidden. No, Project Hidden Extraction Strike, I think is the name I'm going with. What was your favorite
Hidden
part?
Project Strike Extraction.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of this
My
movie?
favorite part
What did you love?
was when I
get it out of the
realized my favorite part was when I realized that Chris is a terrible soldier and he was largely responsible for his father's death due to his ineptitudes for hand signals. Yes, it was. I'm like, wait a minute, the evidence is stacking. Oh my god, he doesn't know hand signals.
My favorite. Can I choose the bloopers at the end as my favorite part? Because
There were bloopers.
Yeah,
they were actually funny.
Daddy had to get back to work. So.
Yeah,
Gosh darn.
that were. I mean, if that's not valid, I think it was watching John Cena and Jackie Chan play catch with each other. That was so
Why are
dumb.
you
It
in
was
the
funny.
desert?
Why? Because Jackie clearly can't throw a baseball.
Yep. For someone who is as like dexterous and agile as he is, I have no idea how he cannot throw a ball to save his life.
Well, it feels like he's never thrown a thing if he can't throw the
yes.
But he's done that. It's part of his style. He throws things all the
ball.
time.
Not well,
Throws
based on what
ladders and
I saw.
chairs.
Yeah.
But that was spherical. Maybe that's his weakness. Spherical.
You ever throw
objects.
you throw a javelin or a spear? It's the same arm motion. It's just when you let go of it. But he was like, the arm motion was, I don't know how to explain it. He was basically not using his arm. He was just using his elbow to his wrist.
Yeah, it's like it's when you ask someone to throw something to you and they've never done it, or they have to do with the wrong hand.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like he was doing.
Maybe he was throwing with his wrong hand for camera
He's
reasons.
Jackie Chan. He shouldn't have a wrong hand.
All hands are the weapons.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, those are both great answers that tells you how much we love this movie. To
What's
me,
your favorite part?
Yes.
the best part of this movie, well, okay, so there was the scene where they did that. I mean,
Show your work.
I don't think John Cena and no, I was gonna say John Cena and Jackie Chan. Oh, okay, the best scene of this movie is John Cena and Jackie Chan's chemistry. But the reason why I hesitate to say it is it just made me miss Rush Hour.
Yeah, fair. And it's also pretty forced in places, right? The first time they have the little banter, it's kind of like, what's happening? Like,
When
I
they're
know
being
both
fired
of
at,
these guys
like,
are
in the French.
charming guys. What is happening with this scene?
Why is it not happening?
Was
now?
it when John Cena was trying to like be all disgusting about his daughter, but it just made me cringe externally and internally?
Well, if you remembered the bloopers, he's way more disgusting about her there. I actually laughed my ass off in there.
When did y'all have time to watch?
I just go in there. I call it a reverse motorboat, and
I didn't expect there to be one, but okay, got it.
That's how you learn. At the end of the movie, they went and Project Hidden Strike extracted all the ships that got away with the oil.
Somehow.
The more you learn.
Also, when they finally finish, like getting the water back to the village, and his crew comes back, it looks like the cover of like a K-pop musical piece or something.
Yeah, they all flying.
They're all aligned in V. Yeah. It's so dumb. Actually, here, okay, let me get this out of the way.
Uh-oh.
Is this movie...
Wait, sorry, should we just put a little bumper? Well, actually, was Luciano.
Yeah, sure, yeah. No, it's not... Well, maybe we'll get to that, but...
Lean into
I have a question. Is this movie just the movie version of some unknown 90s video game that we don't know about? Because think about it. The way the plot was established, right? A Chinese oil refinery in the Middle East, where in the Middle East, nobody knows, is being attacked by quote-unquote mercenary forces, who knows what, in escalating oil wars, whatever those are, and then there were pleas from someone to rescue the refinery workers, and they have to go through the highway of death to get into the green zone. I guess they're going to start playing Sonic when they get to the fucking green zone.
Yes.
And then there's like a private security team that volunteered for the job. I don't understand. Is this just the plot of a 90s video game that someone decided to make into a movie?
It's
a plot from the 80s that someone made a video game to.
I haven't played any of the Metal Gear Solids. I assume this just was another Metal Gear Solid.
It's a ripoff.
You, sir,
a ripoff.
Watch your mouth and put some respect on Metal Gear. Big Boss will slap at thee with a white glove.
Did Kojima make this movie? Did I miss him directing it somehow?
Kojima would never make this movie.
No, come on.
No.
I didn't see anybody hiding beneath boxes. But I haven't played any of the Metal Gears either.
Shame on all of you.
Where's Spencer when you need him? He would have backed you up, I assume. He plays Sony games.
He would have.
Secondary answer then, if Chris won't accept my Metal Gear Solid answer, I'm going to go with: is this the true it's like the behind the scenes of Desert Storm? Was this Desert Storm was actually about? Desert Storm was just a cover for what happened on this day.
I will sooner accept that over Metal Gear, sir.
Yeah, it could have been Kojima.
You can have
with like a COVID fever writing this.
Okay, we're back.
What?
We're back to Kojima. Fair enough.
No. Let it go.
Okay. We're gonna move on. We asked what's your favorite scenes. Hard to come by, if we're honest.
Yes.
We have a couple of plot holes we're gonna cover that, if I'm honest with everybody looking at them, it's about 1/2 to 2/3 of the entire movie, give or take. So it's a little tricky.
This movie was over quick, son.
Yeah, it's a little tricky to talk around it. We'll try to talk around it. So it's a Jackie Chan movie. Jackie Chan famously, I can't say if he did in this movie, did stunts, a lot of his own stunts. All the action scenes. How do you feel about the action in this movie?
I was disappointed, I have to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like I can blame Jackie. I feel like he was present. I feel like they let him down. Like the action, it felt watered down.
How old is Jackie Chan right now? Because that might be part of the problem.
Good question. Let me see.
I don't know, but from that bubble,
the bubble bath
scene, the bubble bath in Club Circa scene. Shout out to my peeps listening in the 6. He was fine, and even scaling the oil refinery exterior ladders and pipes and stuff like that, he seemed fine.
He's 69, by the way.
He didn't. Honestly, it didn't look like he had that much fighting.
Are you saying he didn't have a stunt double at any point in this movie?
he could have had
Yeah.
it, but at the same time, whether he did or didn't, I don't think there was enough fighting material up until
The fight with
Scribbleface.
I mean, that's fair, right? Until
Tramp Stamp.
we got
Graffiti.
to
Cyclops.
Knox.
graffiti.
Yeah.
God damn it, my name is Knox. Nah, that was gold.
Until we got. I don't know about that. You
Gold covered shit.
Okay,
okay.
better.
So
Shit covered gold.
Still
So
staying.
yeah, you're right. You're actually right, Chris. Like, we didn't get Jackie Chan to go Jackie Chan until like the last third of the movie. Until like, the Knox and the gang showed up in the village to get back the bag and stuff.
So that scene was okay. It was a bit exaggerated with like things like breaking
You go
and
high, go
falling
low,
and all
right.
that shit.
Yeah.
They tried. I think like they try to get some comedy out of those scenes, and they let like the attempt at comedy get in the
Signals.
way of the fighting. But that the first scene when Jackie and John Cena fight is awful.
Yeah.
Awful,
Oh,
awful,
no.
awful. That scene.
Well, yeah, I don't. That's why I didn't remember that.
Didn't
So,
Yeah,
Damn.
that says
and
something.
then they basically have a
Says
Martha
something.
moment where Jackie Chan doesn't let his
True.
brother air quotes body get crushed
Yeah.
by whatever
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
car or whatever he pushed over onto crush
And
Jackie.
It was funny
yeah.
because when Owen kills him, he says, "Make it look like Chinese payback," and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be like the whole middle of the movie is going to be John Cena thinking that Jackie Chan killed him and whatnot." Nope.
That would have been more
Sure.
interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. I don't know why I was
But
expecting
how does
in
that
this
look?
movie. But
Like, is that valid?
what is?
Like the Chinese?
Yeah, because they
what Owen said, is that
extracted
valid.
they project extracted Chinese people from the Dragon's private security team underneath their noses, right? So the private security team would have reprised them by killing Henry, quote unquote,
I mean,
aka by
we're
just
gonna
putting a generic Chinese body in the room
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah, we're gonna get into this, but like Owen says, I'm not an idiot in this movie, but
True.
come on, he really
Yeah,
is an
yeah,
idiot.
he-
We're gonna talk
Come on,
about
son.
it,
Mhm.
but
Come on, bro.
I think it was just like a throwaway line that didn't go anywhere. Much like
Agreed.
Much like Commander Luo or Dragon saying, "Hey May, you know this desert. Come with me in this chopper and
You know
fucking
this
don't
desert."
say a word. Doesn't say
You're
a
an engineer.
word."
But you're also a cartopographer. So come along.
A cartopographer, whatever that is.
It's a map maker.
That's a
Yeah,
cartographer.
you got too many syllables.
Photographer? Nah, cartographer, my man.
Accent on the wrong syllable.
I not concede.
No, it's a good point. I now that this is how much this movie fucking broke my brain, because when he's like, "Yeah, come with me, you know, a desert," I'm like, "Yeah, okay, that makes sense." And now I think I was like, "It's a desert. It's just sand and hills. Who knows
Yeah,
anything?"
And she doesn't say a word
No.
other than, be careful. Like,
Yes, father.
She does know where the city that John Cena lives in is,
true.
so that's it.
But-
She knows a desert, my guy.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Proof.
Yeah.
Still stinks.
Yeah, you're not happy. Okay.
Also, like, why?
Hooba stank.
Why is it called like why do they get those names like Highway of Death and the Green Zone and like
I mean,
what?
I'll ask you some
What is
questions
that
later.
even?
It's a highway of death. I think it's pretty obvious. We're gonna dig into it later.
Grunge metal inspiration.
Don't worry. We're gonna answer those questions for people,
all right,
so they
all right.
understand better. The movie is about oil. It's
Lorenzo's.
well, it could have been. We don't know. They don't specify. You are correct. The movie, they don't specify a date, so it is. But based on everything going around, it's modern day ish. Is that fair?
I guess because they have like gadgets
Seems like
and
it.
shit.
Yeah, like they're able to like the that's right. It's not like
True.
It's not like the 90s or the
Jammer.
80s, because they wouldn't
Oh.
have been able to like hack the
No, they
electronics
wouldn't
of it.
have quantum encryption, whatever the fuck that is.
It's
Yeah, that was something.
it's five
Smartphones,
five time
so modern
encryption. 5 times. Quant.
Yo. So by
Nice
that
try.
logic, Owen would be like,
Nice
"Well,
try.
can't you just Can't we just get? That's why we brought 5 of you. You're not the only one. Then he shoots him. Come over here, 4 guys.
Yeah.
But
Owen, I mean, he could have done that because he had aimbot. If you
True.
remember him shooting people while looking at the professor.
Yeah, well, it's the best way to do it. He
Yeah.
doesn't know how to use the machine gun on the Dune buggy, but he could just shoot behind him.
That's true. I forgot about that.
The
How do you work
no-look-
this thing?
The no look cap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Consistently.
The
Yeah.
no look strap. Clap.
Yeah.
When did he decide to start, investing in a side hustle, being a fake good guy with Unicorp? Like, what was the point? Why carry on that facade at all and
That's
just
true.
go all into the dark side, so to speak?
I think maybe because he wanted to get on Chris's good graces to have him help him.
Yeah, that makes
Maybe
sense.
that's
But-
what it was.
Chris didn't know that. To me,
No.
that was a shock when Chris found.
No, but I mean the good guy routine. I mean, it's like, oh, I would turn on the thing if I could, but it's going to require $100,000. There's no sense of scale in this movie either.
Nope, none.
Right? At one point, John Cena says, "Oh my, we went in there and we were trying to extract or do whatever, and there was a 48-hour firefight." I'm like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
A 48-hour firefight?
Get down! You can't
That
see
was
me.
when John Cena got his dad killed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or
Proof positive.
according to Chris, when he killed him. Basically.
He killed his
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
Patricide, I believe is the term.
Think
Could have been
because his
regicide if
dad-
he was the king.
Oh shit!
Oh, yeah, we're gonna start with this again.
Yes, because his father was the unofficial member of Run DMC. Down with the king.
Yeah, regicide is the best side.
See,
Moving past, I guess we don't have any time. Well, we have no time slated for this, and I'm just curious to know the crew that Henry assembles. So
yeah.
Henry obviously gets a couple of the crew from Owen. Where did the other? Was it 2?
there were more, there was Tomb Raider, Tramp Stamp,
Bald Eagle.
Bald Eagle, some other guy that I never saw again, who with
Yeah.
a short haircut.
Oh, yeah,
that
that's
edited
right.
The video. He probably edited all their videos. I never saw him again.
I forgot about that. You're right. So where did he get those guys?
Well, yeah, because like
from the
they like
from the circus, I guess, because they're all fucking clowns.
wow,
Hey!
easy there, John Cena.
Dig it.
Digging out nicknames. Insane Clown Posse. I just like
Toothpick. He called him Toothpick.
Toothpick? Okay.
There's a
Toothpick,
double
yeah.
meaning that he said. You'll figure
Yeah.
it out.
You'll figure it out.
What the fuck?
So, I mean, I don't even want to ask that question anymore because I really want to ask what John Cena's role in this movie was. Because we talked previously about the idea that Jackie Chan and John Cena are like kind of funny but not funny. And it popped in my head that one of the challenges to me is Jackie Chan is good at slapstick comedy and John Cena is good at like dumb guy comedy. And together, they're like the worst mix. You need someone to be a straight man. You know, we think of like watching Hobbs and Shaw, like The Rock is the funny man and Shaw is the straight guy, right? And so it works.
Yeah.
But here you have them both being annoyed, but both being idiots, and it doesn't mesh or connect well, in my estimation.
And you know where it all fell apart. I can do this very
Okay,
quickly.
great.
One word actually. Seat belt.
Oh God, yes.
Oh, it had fallen
It all
apart,
fell apart.
way before then.
But even more so.
It was all
Like
fallen.
they were exchanging. It was like a quick hot potato of silly, straight, silly. It all sad.
Yeah, like it's interesting because I did get like some laughs in there with their interactions, but I'm pretty sure those were the ad-libbed stuff. I think the stuff that was in the script was where the cringe was. That was like the whole nickname thing was like weapons grade Omega cringe. I wanted to jump out of my own skin watching it.
Yeah. John Cena's charisma.
No, my body doesn't want this.
John Cena has charisma, but that's not the way to use it.
Not acting.
No.
Not acting. Yeah. I wrote it down when I was writing my notes. I was like, okay, he's a charming dude, but terrible actor.
Yeah.
He's good at comedy. This is not his best work. That's
No,
for sure.
I think that's fair.
He's
Yeah.
he's better in other things, and honestly, so is Jackie. So I don't think it's them. It comes down to the I think the writing,
I think
and
it's the
then
writing.
and then the scenarios. Because if it was action, like
I don't know. It's like the problem
there's
is
more
like
to it. But, you know.
the writers didn't create the lack of action in the movie, right? And like the action sequences of the movie are like you're always trying to do something that's cool and imaginative, and it's like they forced the bubble bath party,
That was
which is it's just
that was
it was just weird, right? Like why is there a bubble bath thing in the oil refinery? They have the I guess we'll call it action sequence with a jet engine on the back of a armored transport truck. Which
don't get me started on that.
it just seems like one big MacGuffin that should not have worked.
Yeah.
And
But they had some genuinely good ideas, right? Like that the fight scene. Yeah.
Did they though?
The piece of the fight I'm gonna try.
Okay.
So that piece of the fight scene when they were in the refinery where John Cena is in the ground floor and Jackie Chan is up above and they help each other with the pole and the thing. Like, let's not get into the logistics of why didn't everybody just fucking murder him while he was swinging that thing slowly around. But like the idea of
because they don't have guns.
Him helping. Yeah, but they have knives.
No, you can't throw any projectile, as May told us.
Until Knox starts shooting.
Oh, it's different.
Then you can. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Those
good guy rules.
Those were bubble styrofoam. Oh,
it
was a Nerf gun.
Yeah,
solved.
Woolets. Okay, so then if they were Nerf bullets, then they were nullets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nerlets.
But yeah, so I thought that there were a couple of interesting ideas with the fight scenes, but for the most part, I thought, like I said, the attempt at comedy and the attempt at action and fight scenes got in the way of each other, and nothing really actually worked in the end. It's you don't expect to be bored in an action movie with Jackie Chan, but I was in the middle. Right?
It makes sense.
It's like the action's not the worst, but to me it's how they space the action out in the movie. Right, like the start. Honestly, the starting of the movie was fine. Let's get into it. I like a movie that just gets right into the whole thing and doesn't waste any time. Right, so you're just and say what you want about the story being, the sterile international story of the year, where it's like there's nothing is labeled to anything, any corporation. No one can be offended by anything. Right, as you said before,
only Unicorp.
Only Unicorp can be pissed off. That's correct. And so we're into it. It's like, oh, the Chinese company is going to come extract these people because of the oil wars, and someone's attacking them. Great, sure, whatever. Let's do this. And then we got to attack.
I thought it was going to be nonstop action from the beginning. Yeah. I was like, oh, let's go.
And then as soon as they extract the doctor and give him to Euron Greyjoy, then we just hit a wall of that on the action.
Not Euron Greyjoy.
Eunuch Theon.
Euron Greyjoy would have done a better job than Euron Greyjoy in this, I have to say.
Wrong Greyjoy, my bad.
Yeah.
Let's keep it. Let's not edit that in post.
But yeah, so...
Yeah,
so then it just stops.
It kind of stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, that's where it lost me. I was like, oh, okay, we're not doing it. And then it ramps up for the last third. I'm like, great, we're back. And we can get into the problems very shortly about the rest of the movie. But if the action had been a little more consistent throughout it, it would have been, I think it would have been, dare I say...
more entertaining?
I mean, maybe average movie. I don't want to say it. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like average entertainment.
Ooh, you're foreshadowing.
Wow.
You're foreshadowing the end of this episode.
I just figured it out.
Okay.
This movie is still not the fault of Jackie, and I agree. Not enough. I think it was still lacking enough action, and the action pieces were improperly placed. So we were lacking, and they were misplaced. This movie would have been, if this movie was handled the way it was in Jackie Chan's 2017 The Foreigner, but with comedy, they could have pulled it off.
I don't think I've watched it.
Can you give us
every bit was great?
Can you take this movie here and sprinkle in how it could have been good with Jackie Chan? Because my first question that I wanted to ask you is if it's not Jackie Chan's fault, what would have to happen to make it Jackie Chan's fault? But I like the idea of you showing how it could be a good movie versus showing how we can make Jackie into a shitty actor.
There's a problem. It's not Jackie's fault because the set piece of the desert, I think they spent too much time there, or like not even just too much time, but they misused the desert.
Okay.
We don't have a lot to really chew on, and the run time isn't that long. So, even thanks to you guys having seen the Stingers, I didn't know there was, right. So in my mind, I'm imagining that there's more that takes place at the docks or the shipyard, or maybe they even get on one of the tankers and things take place. I feel like that should have been folded into the movie. Give us more room to pull things out.
If you watch The Stinger, you wouldn't be saying that.
Not at all.
And I still think that the writing team should have been fired.
Yeah,
Fired,
out of a
scrapped,
cannon.
replaced.
Out of a cannon.
For what?
For any other team. What happened to the Rush Hour team?
No,
what
I'm
happened
not
to the
asking
Foreigner
for.
team?
I don't care what another team. I want to know
Is that the replacement?
why were they getting fired in the first place?
Because what they gave us was a steaming pile of poop.
Okay. I mean,
why did you censor yourself
trajectory
with that?
Trajectory poop.
Yeah.
Because trust me, of storytelling poop.
Like, this motherfucking poop.
Okay, but like
this is basically what you did.
What?
Yes.
Like, I feel like I want you to give me the point in the movie where the writing team did you dirty. Like the first time the writing team did you dirty, because to what I said before, the start of the movie, and I understand that it being generic isn't great writing, but I understand why movie companies are doing this. You know, it used to be back in the day, they would point fingers, like was it Lethal Weapon 2? It's like, these are South African guys, and they fucking labeled them and had the accent. And now it's just like, instead of saying it's a South American, like basically a South American country or an Asian country, but it's very generic now. So I'm not gonna, that to me, that's just like, it's movies. But what part did they just stab you in the heart with their bad writing?
When they didn't explain to us when, how, and why May became the villain.
Again with the fucking foreshadowing.
Spoilers. That's
You're doing a bad writing job now. Is what you're doing.
You are. Did you write this movie?
You're fired.
I could have.
Could you write this badly? I don't think you could.
I will answer your question that Chris fucking tried to dodge
by asking me a question.
No, I'm answering your question, Matt.
But
for
once, not with a question like Chris did.
No, not with a question. Okay. No. For me, the point where like I felt really done dirty about the writing team was when they started implementing the extraction, and it was like clearly. Like whoever wrote this was like, what is the way that we can write this in a way that is we can create as much problems for this extraction team as possible. And I was like, oh, so all of this, the refinery, the workers, the whatever, all of this is just an excuse to have John Cena and Jackie Chan and Euron Greyjoy there and having them duke it out. That's it. There's no point to the story. It's not a story; it's a framing device, and a poor one at that. And it's when you said when the action stops and they start like driving the buses and nothing really happens, and then the private security team gets fucking steamrolled by a bunch of mercenaries. I was like, oh, okay.
You're wrong, and I'll tell you why.
Movie.
The exact point is when they leave the oil refinery and the helicopters that are supposed to provide cover are like, well, we got to take off. We'll see you at the green zone.
Peace!
Yeah. We're in the same page, the same realm there. Yeah.
All right, let's fuck. We've done this enough. Chris is already asking questions his body can't cash before we get to the section of the show.
Oh, my ass can cash. Approved. That's
not how the fucking saying goes.
We're moving.
We don't.
Did you write this movie?
He did. It's obvious. Let's talk about the plot holes. We're going to take these in order.
If I wrote this,
hey man, we're past you now. We're on to the plot holes.
Yeah,
I'm never past.
Well, you are. Plot holes. Biggest plot hole. Number one. We've been foreshadowing it. Let's just dive right into it. The private Chinese security team that has volunteered to come in and extract the workers from the oil refinery. First of all, private security teams do not volunteer for anything because they are private for a reason. They are not part of the government. Yeah. Everything is money. But we're not here to talk about that. What we're here to talk about is their plan. And you probably should have watched this movie, but you didn't. I'm going to lay it out at a really high level so we can dive into it. So they show up to this plant. They bring in a bunch of buses, and they're going to drive a bunch of buses out of this oil plant well, it's kind of through the way the Highway of Death looks, but on the Highway of Death, because it's the fastest route, because they have to get there in 8 hours. They cannot be late because everybody needs to be in the green zone to get extracted in 8 hours. If they don't, they fail. No more context than that because I can't give it to you. That is the high-level plan, and they have some choppers to cover them, and as you know, they fuck off. There's more context there, but let's just dive into it. How do we fix this? Do we want to discuss some of the more finer points of how bad their plan was? How do we want to tackle this?
So I have to say that, so as I understand it, the buses were from the refinery because they had the name of the refinery on it.
Yes.
And then they brought the choppers. And to me, the thing that got me excited in the beginning that never paid off was like, the professor says, oh, if they attack again like they did yesterday, we're not going to survive it. So they try to impart a sense of like urgency, right?
Yep.
We have to get the fuck out of here. It's like 400 and odd people, like almost 500 people and children. And I was like, before
why are children here? But anyways,
before they even showed it, I was like, how the fuck are they? Like, this should be interesting. How the fuck are they going to extract all of these people? Yep. And then they showed the buses. I went like, okay. And it was like, oh, there's choppers. And I was like, oh, there's choppers. And it was like the kids all put in the choppers. And I was like, fuck, are they going to like shoot down all of the children? Are they going to be this bold? Nope. And it was like, no, the choppers who could have been supporting the convoy, just fuck off. One of the choppers, which is the transport, completely disappears. Does not have any bearing on the movie. But then the plan is to drive on the Highway of Death. And I feel like every time I say Highway of Death, I want to hear Angus Young's like doing the Highway to Hell. Yeah. And they're going to drive through this. Like they make some excuse, right? Sure. It has to be. But my first thought when this starts happening was like, why is it that the commander of the whole security team is driving this bus?
Because
I was like, shouldn't he be protecting the buses?
He trusts his team.
Yeah, well, how did that work out for him?
Well, that's a great question you asked. Not well, as it turns out, but I don't think it's anyone's fault. It may be that the plan they have is bad. Not in the sense that they have to drive these buses to the green zone. Listen, the context is what it is, right? That happens in any story. The context is a means to an end. But the plan is put everybody in these buses, drive through the Highway of Hell or Highway of Death, whatever we're calling it.
I'm on a highway. For 8 hours straight.
For 8 hours straight. They bring enough people to essentially put 2 agents on each bus. Only 2 of these buses have any sort of gun mounted to the bus for protection. And the helicopters, they're also going to provide protection. Fuck off. So already, if this is actually the Highway of Death, and when you see it, it is just burned out husks of vehicles everywhere. And you're thinking, okay, it's like fucking Mad Max, right? Like they're going to get Mad Max rated.
That was the thought I had too.
And so you're like, this was your plan? Like,
that's not a plan.
You have no way to defend yourself. If anybody attacks, there's no way to defend yourself, right?
Yeah. There's too many vehicles and too many people for too few security people to defend. 100%. And they chose to do things in the worst possible way because they took gigantic buses, and stuffed everybody in it, and they just drove in a straight, like through a predictable path that everybody knew. Through apparently enemy territory or like dangerous territory. No wonder they volunteered because they probably fucking can't get any contracts because that's not how you do anything.
They're very bad at doing their jobs.
You were the last on the list.
Yeah. So also, I don't I don't understand also, like,
No one else would take this job. I just want to emphasize that.
I also don't understand, like, why was it that the plan was to send the choppers away? I can understand sending the kids away in one of the choppers. That was actually a good idea.
Yeah.
Right? Save the
Sure.
children, that's fine.
Yeah.
But why do the other 2 helicopters just fuck off? Like, what?
Because.
Why? What were they doing?
No one expected anyone to watch this movie and ask questions.
Okay, well, let's. I agree with you, Chris, but and it's expensive to have helicopters in your movie. But let's approach this as the professionals we are.
Budget cuts.
But let's be professionals here.
Yes,
None of this makes sense, right? Is there anything else that makes sense before we do the thing we do, where we try to fix this and make it make sense? But I think the other thing we didn't talk about for me is they have to make it there in 8 hours, right? So they got to make it there in 8 hours. They can't stop. They can't stop for the sandstorm that gets kicked up, right? And they're all like, "This is a weird weather sandstorm." Well, of course, that's a great question because when they go into the sandstorm and have their electronics jammed, 2 of the buses get hijacked, and they extract the professor and some hostages.
The professor and Marianne
and the other hostages, Ginger.
Yes.
And so they run away with these people, and as soon as they exit the storm, they pull over and stop the buses because 2 are missing.
And then they go flying around the desert, GTA style, shooting at random cars.
Yep, correct.
Yeah, that you're right. That doesn't make any fucking sense. They couldn't stop even to wait for the sandstorm, but now that someone was hijacked or kidnapped, no, everybody stop. And me and my daughter are gonna go find these people.
And it's the
quality time.
The other thing that's weird about it is, in most cases, they're making bad decisions. Like not having enough people to defend the convoy, not having enough defense for the convoy. Those are just bad decisions. This is just like, what's the word? It's not circumventing, but it's like the exact opposite.
Self-sabotage.
Yeah, it is self-sabotage. You're like, you said you're going to do one thing for a reason.
Contradictory.
Yeah, there it is. You contradicted yourself.
100%.
That's where the movie gets bad writing from. Actually, is you can't have your main characters contradict themselves without explaining why they need to contradict themselves.
Yeah,
and they don't explain it at all. They just stop the buses for a while, hang out, wait for all the buses to collect together, fucking sing "Kumbaya," and then they all drive off, and Jackie and his daughter go looking for God knows what.
Yeah,
it was because Commander Dragon wanted to save his ego. No one else wanted this job, bro.
He made them.
The fact that he lost.
That's why. Oh, maybe it wasn't even a volunteer. Maybe they paid to be able to go. Maybe that's what happened.
Jackie Chan paid the rest of the people to go.
Yeah, because he wanted to rescue his daughter.
Yes, and but I thought he was embarrassed. He's like, shit. We already we're already scraping the barrel, team. Like if we show up to the green zone minus 2 buses, we ain't never getting paid again.
Minus the person that's most important to get extracted.
Yeah.
Yes, we lost 2 buses and the MVP. So what we going?
So this is you've segued us like the professional you are, Chris, into how do you solve these problems, right? And so even if Jackie Chan had just said, "Well, fuck, we cannot go to the extraction zone. This is going to be a blight on our record as professionals, as the top team in China, whatever."
Human life.
We got to go and find these people. That would have been something. Right, that would have been at least now you understand why he's contradicting
like a
himself.
Reason. Yeah. And also they could have done a better job explaining why Jackie Chan took May with him, right? Because his excuse was you know this desert.
There you go. That's the reason. That was the reason.
Yeah, but she was quiet the whole trip. It didn't make any fucking difference that she knew the desert. You could have explained why did you? She could have asked him, why did you bring me? I don't know the desert that well, and then he could have said, no, I wanted to make sure you were safe with me. I'll protect.
So you're lying to me again, Father. I see how it is.
Yeah, there you go. That could have been a good moment to say, oh, even when you're trying to help me, you're lying to me. No, that would have been a great line.
Get on the chopper.
So that's
too good writing.
Yeah, Chris, you didn't write this film. Just from that one line right there, I know you couldn't have written this film.
Yeah.
Told you.
So okay.
I said if I did, I would have brought you guys with me.
Oh, okay, OJ.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
Oh no.
What the
Boy,
fuck?
that escalated quickly.
The juice is loose in this bitch. I'm about to flip a table and slap you with a glove that don't fit. Ugh.
Moving on. The action sequence, or the lack of action sequence, the highway of death. How do we like? The plan's bad, and I'm okay with their plan being bad to some degree, but do we explain it away? Do we bring more actual action into, like, let's make the highway of death deathy?
I would have liked to have seen like them be resigned to say, okay, we have to go to the highway of death. There's no other choice. And then have seen Dragon, Commander Luo. I'm just gonna call him Jackie Chan. Just have Jackie Chan. Because that name is awful.
So much disrespect, but I dig it. Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen him say, okay, if we have to do this, let's revisit this plan. And then they plan for like contingencies of being attacked and everything. And it would have been nice to have seen them give the mercenaries a little bit of run for their money, not just getting fucking destroyed by them.
Yeah, it's like,
it's
like they didn't have any idea. Like, if anything happens, we're fucked.
Yeah,
it was their second day. It was Team Dragon's second day on the job. No one else.
They were all junior security
call you.
guards.
This feels.
I know you're the senior, but
they were still going through onboarding.
Everybody else on your team is green. What can you be wheels up in 0800 hours? Yes, sir.
Mr. Jackie, sir.
I used to be a sales rep. I don't know what I'm doing.
Am I
for your country
driving the bus, or
for your country?
Am I on top shooting the gun?
No, you're manning the .50 caliber that you've never operated before.
No, for your country, you're manning the 50 caliber gun on top of the bus.
Mr. Jackie, sir.
You will.
I'm blind. Is that gonna be a problem?
Nah.
For your country,
given what Euron Greyjoy did at the end, anybody can use a gun and shoot around.
That's very true.
Something. Yeah. So yeah, I think it would have, like, that sequence could have been more like Fury Road-esque, right? Like having them actually have some fights with the cars, have the security team do some damage, and not like just one of the female security guards trying to fight with Nox or whoever it was she was fighting, and trying to stab him from like 5 meters away. I don't know if you saw that on the fight scene on the bus.
Yeah,
she like pulled up a knife and she stabbed down, and he was like a full like meter away from her, easy. So
I love that you all bring this up, but quite easily this could all be explained quite easily. And I'm not, and mind you, I don't mean this as a defense for the writing, the talent.
We're trying to fix it now, Chris.
You want to fix
movie
it?
You wrote?
Here we go. More money. More money. More money. We need more money. Because the budget cuts that wreaked havoc on the story and the production, my friends, are...
I don't know about that.
Scathing.
On the production, I can see it, but on the story,
you don't start making a movie until the story's written. So, like, how did budget cuts make the story bad? Do they chop out scenes? Is that what you're saying?
That's probably also a very likely scenario. Like, what would the director's cut with a different director have been?
What would the Zack Snyder cut of Hidden Strike be?
Oh no,
it would have been a lot
in
better.
4:3
Oh yes,
in black and white.
Black and white.
No, I'm good.
But you're onto something there. More money with like a Martin Campbell who did Jackie Chan's The Foreigner also, and Casino Royale.
So as usual, what Chris is saying is, if this was an entirely different movie, it would have been good.
No, it starts from the top, baby. It starts from the top. Talk to your man,
you've
OJ.
Given me more money, a better director.
Yes. Another story.
Yes. Another story.
And a different cast.
No, he's keeping Jackie Chan.
Yeah, but everybody else goes.
And John Cena can
stay. What
stay.
about Jackie's daughter?
So can Kung Lao. Oh, she's the real villain. She can stay.
Just teasing.
I actually liked her.
Teasing it out, eh?
I actually liked
Owen
her.
can stay. Everybody can stay.
Okay.
Owen can't.
Everybody in the cast can
fuck
stay.
Euron Greyjoy. I fucking hate that guy.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
But he's Owen in this.
Well,
Still.
He's allowed to make a living.
This is another professional segue by Chris, because now we're going to move into the second plot hole of this movie. It is everything to do with Owen. Owen, as Luciano's already pointed out, says, quote unquote, "I am not an idiot."
Lies!
Confirmed.
Lies!
You did say that.
He is a liar.
Cosign.
Here is Owen's plan in a
Cosign.
nutshell. We find out that Owen has been working for Omnicorp, and he isn't getting what is his.
16 years.
Omnicorp.
Sorry, what's it called?
16.
Unicorp.
Unicorp. Whatever.
16 years.
16 years at Omnicorp. I don't know, man. And
they rebranded a while ago.
And he forwent on siring a child.
Yeah.
Yes.
A bairn, if you will.
Yes.
Yes. What?
His plan in a nutshell was that he wanted to get what was his. And so he decided that he was going to take over the oil refinery and pump said oil I don't know how much oil. They never quite said. 24 hours of straight pumping.
Oh, we figured it out.
80,000 seconds of oil pumping.
Straight pumping of oil into numerous of pumping oil to the sea through underground pipes into numerous oil tankers, and then I guess selling it somewhere. This is part of the oil wars backstory somewhere. So to do this, he needs to get the head engineer her dongle, which couldn't they just said USB key?
Can't say that.
I just said it. The dongle.
Yeah.
It was so annoying every time they said dongle.
dongle.
Every time they said dongle, I was so angry. Just call it what it is.
Yeah.
So
there was a point where they keep repeating dongle, dongle.
It was so dumb.
It's like, what the fuck?
We need the dongle. We need her book, because when they froze the system of oil refinery, there was a number that they wrote down. So that's her book has the number in it. You need the dongle, so you plug it in, type in the number, and you need her fingerprint to turn the refinery on in order to extract the oil. They were going to extract the oil for 24 hours, and then they took some extra tankers. They even said they didn't need They said they didn't need like trucks because they had the ones on the ocean. But they still filled up 3 anyways.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Not that mad about it.
What's up with that?
And then the crew that was at the oil refinery was then racing to the demilitarized zone, as they called it, because once they got there, they could not be arrested. That is roughly the plan. We can dive into specifics like how he hired Chris's brother's team to extract the doctor or the head engineer, and then shot Henry immediately because he failed, thereby antagonizing the one guy he wanted to join his crew to stop Dragon. That might be a questionable choice. Other questionable choices that you saw? Owen tried to perpetrate his plan.
Do we want to get into the whole? No, we don't. But I'm just gonna say the whole breaking of the dongle when it was plugged in. We'll talk about that later. But
you brought it up.
I mean, you can talk about it now.
It's so stupid. I was so mad at that. It's like, oh yeah, let's plug this thing that overrides the quantum encryption on this fucking thing.
Correct.
And then I'm gonna break it, and everything's just, I'm gonna break it. It's like a key, right? You jam a key onto a keyhole and you break it, and nobody can turn the key again.
Correct.
Because it's broken.
That's
inside.
his logic.
It's just the same thing, only something electronic, something quantum encryption.
Correct.
That makes sense.
Yeah. They use quantum encryption. What do you want from them? Been encrypted 5 times.
5 times, baby.
That's not what that means.
5 times. 5 times.
5 times.
5 times the encryptions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, baby.
Well, I mean,
you can't get through that.
You already called out the whole idea of like he made Henry go harass Chris to join in the thing, and he even had that little role play of, I wish I could give you water, but if you had $100,000, and like kind of force the issue to say, okay, Chris is gonna want to
join the crew,
save these kids, and he's gonna join the crew. And then it's like
the only smart part of his entire plan was that little manipulation.
Yeah, and it didn't even work. Clearly,
well, I mean, it worked in the sense that he got the doctor or the head engineer extracted.
Yeah, but like the only reason why Chris went was because he was lied to by his brother that said, "Oh, we're gonna get the guys who armed the people who."
I don't
killed
want to
our
go
dad."
down to saying this movie was clever, but he did. It was a double manipulation,
was-
right? He needed
yeah,
$100,000, so he had to do the job, and also his brother was like, "Thanks for killing Dad, bitch," and that made him go do it.
Yeah.
See.
But then he undermined his own like ruse by just immediately killing Henry when John Cena just fucks off. And he goes like, make it look like Chinese manipulation or Chinese payback. And all that the person did was put some other random Chinese body alongside. Like, how is that supposed to make it look
Actually,
like it was
it's
payback?
not a random Chinese body because he shot a hostage, or they shot a hostage in the courtyard.
Yeah, accidentally.
Accidentally on purpose.
Accidentally 3 times in the back.
Accidents
Well,
happen.
If you run, you're trained to pull the trigger, I guess. But like that's a drain on Owen is an idiot. That's a drain on resources. He still could have had like Henry should have failed at least one more time and then catch a
You
bullet.
just need Henry to go
So he's an
away. You don't
idiot.
need to kill him and antagonize.
Yeah. Well, he needed Henry to go harass Chris so that he wouldn't interfere at the very least.
Sure.
Right?
And for all we knew, Henry could have risen to the challenge. For all we knew.
Come on.
Sure, but what's the worst that happens?
come.
Henry dies and he's actually killed by the Chinese.
Yeah.
Or the French in the process.
We didn't
which
even know.
We don't
even
talk about
more.
the French.
That's not part
Sacre
of
bleu.
Listen.
that's not part of Owen's plan. We'll
Listen.
get there, but that's not
Yeah.
part of Owen's plan.
No, he does say though. No, yeah, he says go close the loop with the French because I don't want them coming asking for their guns or whatever.
Not part of
He
Owen's plan.
says it right after he kills.
I don't care. I don't want to talk about that part. Owen's got too many other problems. We got to focus on the rest of Owen's
That
problems.
he cannot
That he can't handle. Owen,
because he's stupid.
he's so stupid.
He's so stupid.
So Owen,
You guys can't say that. Only I can say that.
well, we're saying it. I already invoked OJ on this episode.
There's two
I'm
of
just
us. There's two
off.
of us. You're the OJ of the episode, and you are the patriarchy.
No,
So, yeah.
not at all.
Back to Owen's plan.
Okay.
So Owen is going to steal all his oil and he's going to sell it to the highest bidder. He's going to get
Lorenzo's.
his. Along the way on this plan, we have him killing Henry's brother. Sorry, killing Henry, Chris's brother.
Chris's.
Bad idea.
Yes.
Then he breaks off the dongle, and I guess
It worked.
It
so,
works.
Like in that sense, it wasn't
so. The
a bad
plan
idea,
is fine. That's more the plot hole is that should never work. But the other things that happen at the plant is Knox stays. He tells Knox to stay there until the oil is done. So Knox. Remember, this is 24 hours of oil, and they've left about a half hour in, maybe 2 hours into the oil exchange. We're not sure, but it's early as far as I can tell.
Yeah, it's early.
And he says to Knox, "Hey, when the oil transfer is done, you can kill the doctor and her son," which is like supposed to be some sort of fucking major
I hope you got
mind bending. Like, oh my god, it's
Well,
her
no,
son
it
there.
was like, oh, look how evil he is. Like,
Whatever.
Yeah, because we didn't know.
So, a couple of things. If the dongle is broken and the oil can't be stopped, as was told to us in the movie, why is Knox staying there?
Well, who was going to do a foam wire fight with Jackie Chan if he didn't stay there?
I don't.
Someone had to run circle.
Checkmate.
Okay, fine. You've got me on that one. Why did the doctor, the head scientist and her son need to be alive?
Emotional.
I was gonna say because maybe he could have for him to use as like collateral, but he doesn't even do that. So I guess you
can't use them as collateral if you leave them behind.
Yeah. No. I mean, for Knox to use as like human shield, right? But why? Like, even if Knox dies, who gives a shit? Yeah.
Tramp stamp just doesn't factor into the end game.
Well, he
Tramp
does,
stamp
but
just disappears from he gets mentioned once when they're shooting at the buggies from the helicopter, and that's it.
But Tramp stamp is Knox.
yeah,
No,
wasn't he?
is it?
Yeah, I think so. He has like
Yes.
5
Is
nicknames.
Knox
that
is Tramp
another? Oh, okay. Why is it a
Tramp stamp, Cyclops.
Tramp stamp doesn't make sense. All the other ones
Because
do.
he has tattoos.
That's what he said.
John Cena's a racist, probably. I don't know.
Oh my god. Okay.
What's racist about tramp stamp, by the way?
I don't know. It's
I
just
don't think it's.
I don't know. It's John Cena.
It's not racist. It's
doesn't-
just dumb.
Yeah.
It could be dumb, but I don't know.
It's
what's
John
racist.
Cena.
Okay, cool. Sure. And then another reason why Owen is an idiot is because as he drives away with bald eagle in the dune buggy, right? They pass.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
And you're
yes.
like,
Susie.
oh, that's fine.
Why
I
did
wrote-
they not?
I wrote it down. It's like, why did they
Kill her.
fucking let her? It's like, oh, there's another car, a weird car coming in the other direction. Oh, okay.
Flatten the tires at least.
Yeah.
Cap
He
the
shot
tires.
3 hostages behind the back.
Just because.
Just because.
Nothing.
Just because.
Like,
Yeah. He could have used his aimbot and shot at May after passing her. Just shoot her through
they
the.
could have,
Right.
They could have
Just like what they
either
did.
taken her out.
I know
or
we're
take,
gonna
or
get into
incapacitate
this.
the vehicle.
I know we're gonna get into this later, but like just
we gonna
how
get into it.
the magic they fucking did with that buggy when they hit the harpoon on the bus and then they blow up
Sure.
like underneath it, and then he hits
And then smash
perfectly.
the windshield of the bus.
If they could do that,
no.
couldn't he have just like shot over his head at
That-
May and killed
No,
her?
that was Knox. And Knox was left behind.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Owen didn't.
I know,
Yeah.
but
Owen can't do
Euron
anything.
Greyjoy had aimbot, as we established.
Yeah, but he had to do it after
They
the
should have.
past. You're right.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah.
Which is another reason why Owen was dumb. Owen should have driven. Bald Eagle should have manned the guns
Yeah, true.
on the
Well,
dune buggy.
I
True.
mean,
If he didn't know how to use the guns, that's true.
why do you think he knows how to drive good?
Driving is better
Is it, though?
than him trying to man those guns.
I mean-
I mean, I think
it's a
he
straight
prob-
line, it seems.
he knew how to drive.
Listen, I'm just saying, if
It would have been if they would have given him
Wait,
character depth.
wait,
he's like,
wait a minute.
They robbed me
wait.
of of having a family, and they also robbed me of getting my G2.
Because
he was too busy.
You had to let me cook.
because of Unicorn, I don't have a wife. I don't have a child. I don't have a driver's license. I don't have a driver's license.
I don't even know how to
Yeah, I'm getting
read.
there.
Sorry.
I am not alphabetized. I don't know what these squiggles are.
I'm not. Which is why he overcompensates. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
he might be.
No, because I was gonna say like he knows how to drive because he drives that fucked up buggy a couple of times after
Oh, that's
getting
true.
like smashed.
I've just
He drove to the
sure.
village.
I mean,
in
but
the-
fast. He can't drive good fast. I don't know. Owen's dumb. So like, why we like? He's not making smart choices. So if we're talking about this as a plot hole, Owen is dumb, and his plan is bad, and it doesn't make
And
sense.
he is incompetent.
And he's an idiot.
and he's also handicapped. He is handicapped in
We
So
life.
don't
the
use
real plot
in
hole,
life.
the real plot hole,
Yeah.
is how the fuck did he get so many people to follow his plan?
Well, this is a good question because you
True genius.
use the idea that the mafia idea of like the mob boss is scary, he'll kill you at a moment's notice, but generally
Right.
the mob boss has loyal soldiers, and I guess Knox was loyal, but like why would anybody else be? Like you just shoot him like when you're in the like that weird spot after the like to talk to Henry and Chris. Like someone could have just shot him and be like, all right, we're done here, we'll see you later. Like he was not integral to the plan whatsoever.
Yeah. And besides, like all of the foot soldiers, like the unnamed red shirts, they
Yeah.
didn't like they weren't even like they were all apparently locals from the way that they were portrayed, right?
Yeah.
So why were they being paid that much money? But he didn't have any money because Unicorp took. I don't
Everything.
even know what money looks like all that
100%.
fuck, right? So how did he get all that people to? I don't know. It's so dumb.
Amway shares.
Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Okay.
No, it's multi-level marketing.
That's not what we call it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
MLM.
Multi-level
Okay.
marketing.
Get with the-
So
I think you misspelled,
times, Luciano.
Ponzi scheme.
listen, okay, listen. I know this sounds crazy, guys, but my buddy Owen says that if I just bring 3 other people into this group, I get an extra 2% from the oil, and I can pass it on to you
What?
guys. You each get an extra percent by being part of my
An
crew.
extra- and you have to sell a
Whoa.
barrel a month, right?
You just got to, yeah. You have to buy your own barrel, to be part of the crew, obviously.
Yeah. You have to stock up on the barrel.
But once you buy your monthly barrel from me, your friend, at a low price, then you can fill it up with oil. And then you can sell your barrels of oil to other people, your friends.
With a markup, so you can get a profit.
Right. And so if you just sell it to 3 people,
if you bring 3 people in, then your percentage goes up.
You just got to find 3 people.
Bring,
and you get 3 people, and they get 3 people, and they get 3 people. You'll be raking in millions.
And so on, and so on, and so on.
If they get 3 people, and then they get 3 people, and then they get 3 people, within like 10 levels, it's more people that exist in the earth.
Listen, there's only 100 people in our shanty town in the desert. So you better get those 3 people first.
Yeah.
We're going to run out quick.
Oh my God.
What could possibly go wrong? So Owen's plan,
who would have thought that Owen opened like a Herbalife, an oil life instead of
oil life. I like this. So let's spend 5 minutes or less fixing the plot holes around Owen.
So take Owen out of the picture.
No. Chris said we didn't have to get. Chris liked him. Chris is just changing most other things, but we're keeping Owen. So Owen has to stay. So when we write the story for Owen, I don't care about Owen knowing Chris at all. That makes no sense to me. It doesn't add anything to the plot. Yeah. It doesn't matter. So let's just take that right out. We don't care.
Okay.
Owen's plan isn't terrible in itself, although I think the idea that you're going to put a bunch of oil into ships out to sea seems weird.
I was going to say, I could have used a little bit of exposition from someone to say, the Saudis are expecting this oil.
Pre-sell it. That's a great thing, right? And now you have an actual way to get rid of all that oil. And then also it's again you talk about the extremes, right? It's like $100,000 for water, okay, but they get hundreds of millions of oil per tanker, and they roll up with 10 to 12 tankers, and it's just okay, but
we're going to make $2 billion.
Just it doesn't. It's like so you're stealing oil. You could have stole 6 trucks. I don't know, or whatever. I don't need to go crazy on it, right? So you steal the oil, and maybe it's you need something better. You need a better reason for him stealing the oil other than he didn't get his from Omni Uni HashiCorp.
HashiCorp.
Amway.
Umbrella Corp.
Umbrella.
From Oil of Life. The multi-level marketing. He can't get out until he breaks his contract by delivering hundreds and hundreds of million of oil.
Yeah. It needed I can understand that the goal of getting the oil and stealing it and making it into a heist is a means to an end. It's almost like a shitty version of the coin from John Wick. It's it doesn't really matter why. But a little bit of sense would have helped, right? Because then there were stakes. Because, assume, they destroyed they did the trucks, right? That were kind of riding with them. They still got a bunch of oil in there. But, what are the consequences of them not getting all of the oil?
Sure, yeah.
Right? That kind of stuff. Just a little bit of sense, right?
Yeah.
Maybe what he says is, we're supposed to deliver this much oil, and now these 3 trucks are fucked. We don't have enough, and then he kills somebody to kind of even out the split of the money, something like that.
Sure.
I like where you're going. I want. What do you guys think of the complexity of? Because I'm kind of okay with the pipeline from the refinery going to the shipyard. I'm kind of okay with that. But what if he used the 3 trucks as a diversion,
a decoy?
Decoy.
Okay. Yeah. That would have been good. But then that would have required them not knowing about the pipes, though.
Why didn't you know about the pipes?
What do you mean?
Because if it's a decoy, it only works as a decoy if they think that the trucks are more important than whatever is happening at the refinery.
Yeah.
Right.
So why do they need to know about the pipes and the oil going to the boats?
Well, it's not that they need to know, but they have the people that worked at the refinery with them, they would have been told.
Yeah, but they don't have to I just don't think you even bring it up as a thing.
Or maybe Owen could have thought it was going to be a good decoy until they were told that the refinery was where things were happening. So,
and hopefully Like and hopefully if the three trucks leaving the refinery, hopefully the heroes or the good guys would have seen shiny object, they're trying to get away with it. Like perhaps it would have been an insult to their intelligence. And based on this writing, like current writing, like which we're trying to improve, then we're like, can't let them get away with those. Then they have to make a choice. They go all in, or maybe they split up.
Here's another thing I would do with this is I wouldn't have Owen kill Henry. I would leave Henry being sort of like a nuisance. Like every time John Cena and Jackie Chan are going to go after the people that were helping Owen, he couldn't go all out because Henry was there. So he couldn't start shooting.
He's trying to take my soul.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to get that bad.
Well,
it could have been like a spanner in the works for them to be able to go all out, right?
I think you've
brother.
nailed it on the head. I just don't think you want to get yours, okay, but transporting all that oil to the sea is just like they don't go after it. Like it's fucking handled in a cutscene at the end of the movie, right? Like so that didn't matter to the story at all.
Yeah,
but they shouldn't. They had no reason to care about the oil, quite frankly.
And so that whole ruse of we're going to steal all this oil money, it's like, why do you care? Like they show it. It's like it doesn't matter to the movie because they're just trying to stop him from getting away. Not from stealing the oil, because they just all of a sudden say you can't stop him from stealing the oil because they make him be able to break the thing. So the consequences of the oil is gone. So like, what do we care about the ships? What do we care about anything? We always just want to chase him down.
Revenge, right? Yeah.
And so if you put you have two oil groups and it's like one is fucking Henry, one is Owen. And then Chris has got to go chase down Henry or something. You kind of split it up, but he gets him to come back on the side and actually stop him to save face or whatever in the community.
Yeah,
do it that way.
Or it could have been in the they weren't really caring about the oil at all in the story, and like they showed that. And then John Cena's like, "Fuck this! I'm not gonna go do anything there. I just need the water here from my village." But then he sees Owen kill Henry, and that's when he gets back into the action. It's like, okay, now it's personal, right?
Yeah.
Now I have to go get revenge.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. Moving on. I'm tired of talking about Owen's bad play. It was dumb as hell.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Owen. Let's ask some different questions.
All right.
Some fun questions.
Let's do it.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Hey,
who you?
My name is Owen. I have, I don't know.
What the fuck?
68,400 pumping seconds of oil. How am I going to sell this? You did like 5 pumping seconds right there.
Well,
you're a rich man.
You're very rich.
You didn't know.
Where am I selling this? Because they don't talk about it. They don't say anything. He's just driving off with all his oil. At Alibaba. What denominations are you selling in? Is like, here is 3 pumping seconds of oil. It's like a jug, a 1 liter jug of oil.
Yeah, well, you wish.
I think they can. You can start selling it as like it's like alternative medicine.
Okay, but it's like crude. It's
like Lorenzo's
oil.
I keep saying it's refined. It's an oil refinery. Yeah, it's an oil refinery.
Yeah, so it's refined.
So it's refined. So it's like.
But it's not, because what we see pumping is raw oil.
Well, because this is okay. I don't want to go too far down this road, but like they're clearly at an oil refinery.
Yeah, but there's no because when you refine oil, you refine it into other things.
Yes, and so they just why don't they steal gasoline or I don't want to. We're not asking that. We're not asking that. We pumped oil. We pumped a lot of oil.
I like Chris's idea. They go on AliExpress.
68,400. Pumping seconds of oil.
86,400.
86. Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
I wrote that down.
Seconds.
I'm dyslexic. Way more pumping seconds of oil than I would have expected or wrote down. Okay.
So they can sell it as like I said, like alternative medicine, like Reiki or something like that. They go 5.
My pores feel so
5 seconds of pumped oil is enough to unclog your pores and your sinuses.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can sell it like that. You know,
I'm so
can
congested.
be used as a nice flavoring for a cupcake. I don't know, something like that,
or a lubricant for your car. Like it's just a cure all.
or a lubricant. Period.
Oh,
Period.
so you can do some other pumping seconds of oil if you catch my drift.
Hey,
You know?
it's it's like a perpetual motion machine.
We got there. I'm really,
Which
which you can also oil with the
There you go.
pumping seconds of oil. With
It's all
stop.
purpose.
It's gone too far.
who needs potatoes?
Different question for you. Which god is horny for John Cena? I ask this because John Cena in this movie, they have a rocket.
In the movie, I was going to ask if you're asking about John Cena in general.
Maybe also that, but
His character,
specifically Chris in the movie.
Okay.
The scene that draws most of my attention is him and Jackie Chan fight over not wearing a seatbelt. They get into this armored transport flatbed that has the jet engine they use to make the sandstorm on it. And to catch up to the bad guys, they turn on this jet engine and drive at extreme speeds to catch up. Don't worry about that. We're going to cover that in a secondary question. But what happens is because he doesn't wear a seatbelt, they slam the truck into the edge of one of the oil tankers and basically destroy everything. And John Cena goes fucking hurtling out of that truck at the speed of sound.
He ejects. Yeah.
And he gets up like he just, fell over off his bike that was standing still.
That was an inconvenience.
Yeah.
Dust off his pants.
Just dust off his pants. He would be dead. So dead. He'd be liquid dead. But he survives.
He'd be dead before he hit the ground.
Right. He also,
100%.
at the end of the movie, they drive said truck over a cliff. Dragon and the daughter kind of jump out the last second and hold on to, I think they lash themselves to the dune buggy that Owen's in.
Yeah.
To save themselves. And as far as we know, John Cena dies the second time. And then he miraculously at the end of the movie just comes climbing up the rock face.
From somewhere.
From somewhere.
Yeah. Also, he should have been sucked into that jet engine within a half of a second.
Sure. Also true. As soon as they turn it on, he's outside holding on, gone.
So I think the answer to your question is all of the gods are horny for John Cena. It has to, I don't know, which god would protect him from stupidity, speed, and physics? I don't know a god that covers all of those.
Shazam.
Okay. Sure.
All of them, it seems.
Okay.
Or Zeus.
Solomon.
Okay.
Whoever.
Maybe that's Solomon.
Prometheus.
Ooh, that's a good one.
The flying spaghetti monster.
Cthulhu? Which one? Cthulhu? Is that you? Did you enter the chat, Cthulhu?
Yeah, I don't.
Cthulhu.
I think it's a god called Plot.
That blessed him with the armor.
Blessed him with the armor.
gods.
The armor of the gods.
Of the gods.
Oh, good old Plot. Yeah, he is very, very.
I was going to say
solid.
Acme Corp because
Same.
Chris in this movie,
Same, really.
Same. But at the same time, well, you could say same because I believe that one wily coyote also represents offerings at the altar of Acme / Plot.
True.
Oh
yeah. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. John Cena's character in this movie is very Wile E. Coyote. He's just stupid. Yeah, and then he's fine.
And he's
I think
fine.
we've nailed it. Let's move on to other important questions. May at the end of the movie says she understands now to her father.
Mm-hmm.
How May understand?
Okay.
What May understand? Who may understand? Why may understand? And when may understand? Pick anyone, really. We shouldn't go through all of them.
Also, you missed Humst.
Humst.
Yeah.
The fuck is
Humst may understand.
You don't hold a steak. You don't just throw that up without. It sounds like something I want to consume, like at work.
That's the question. Stop dodging it.
Dodge.
I don't know. Maybe she hit her head, and now she understands why her father abandoned her and her mother, who was dying.
Did she wear a seatbelt?
Yeah.
Yes. She had the little tiny seat in the middle where she was up higher than everybody else, but she had a seatbelt on.
And she hit her head.
Okay.
Yeah.
When she was sitting
then
yeah.
There
you go.
Yeah, that's it.
It's
Concussion.
a concussion. She understands a concussion.
She was concussed. She understands because she was
Well, I mean, how many
concussed.
times has Jackie Chan been concussed? So now that she is as dumb as he is in this movie, she understands.
Oh, there
We
you
wrapped
go.
this up a lot faster than I thought.
We got there
I
quick.
think you fucking nailed it.
Nice.
This is a record.
She
I did not expect
understands
that.
what a concussion feels like. Therefore,
She understands all.
Yeah.
She gained Acme level Wile E. Coyote.
Unicorp, not Acme.
You know how she Omnicorp.
Acme Corp.
Acme Corp. Yes, thank you. Let's continue with May because I have another question about May. I think this is really important. Is May the real villain of this movie? And hear me out on this one.
Yes.
I'm going to give you one example. May comes to help everybody at the oil factory.
Mm-hmm.
She drives by all of the villains. They don't shoot at her once.
Yes.
And then she says,
"Oh shit, she's a plant.
Trust me, Chris, I got this." As they tried to jump over a hill, and she fucking totals.
Fucking it up on purpose.
Immediately,
his pickup.
completely totals the pickup.
Yeah.
Poor Susie did nothing wrong.
Not
Plant.
anything.
Plant, silent partner, skin in the game. She's getting money. She did this because she wanted to kill her father.
Just like the guy who put the X on the buses.
Exactly.
Kung Lao. That was Kung Lao.
Kung Lao got reduced to putting an X on a bus.
That is sadness.
Word life. He
crushed.
went from Mortal Kombat to spray painting a la Getting Up Mark Echo.
Wow.
In PS2.
Damn. Okay.
Now, Sheedy Banksy is what he did.
Correct. So she has a shit list, okay? A list of motherfuckers that have got it coming. Number
Her
one,
pappy.
Daddy. Her paps is gonna get the slaps. Number two, Professor
Chang. Yeah.
Chang. I thought I wrote it down. Aunt Chen and her son. She has worked at this oil refinery for a period.
Oh,
she's an engineer. Nepotism.
Oh.
She is tired of the patriarchy and tired of nepotism foiling her career plans once again. And just like Owen, who missed the opportunity to sire a seed and learn to drive a vehicle.
You don't sire a seed, man. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You sire the seed and you let the seed grow.
Can I be excused,
Luciano?
please?
No, I'm not
sired
finished.
the
I'm
seed
cooking.
with 1 to 2 seconds of oil pumping, I believe.
No.
See? And then, so overlooked so many times for promotion. And then after a period of time, like let's say 3-4 years, and just watching this little shit, this sick son shithead rise to comptroller. You don't let that slide.
He's not a comptroller.
Don't let that slide.
He wasn't doing finance. What the fuck?
Goddamn comptrollers. Just ruin everything.
I don't give a fuck. This motherfucking Junior Chen comptrolling motherfucker has had enough. And so she's ready to even the scales. With what?
So
different kinds of justice.
So she's like female Owen, is what you're saying.
Riz, basically. But also, just to add to Chris's thing, who manages to get a hold of the bag with the phone and the dongle and the book?
And then John Cena goes and foils her plan. Yeah.
Was that a foil? That wasn't a foil.
No, he foiled it.
No. Why do you think her diary was placed where it was?
Don't you think it was foiled?
Oh, because I thought her plan was to just fucking kill the professor.
No.
And take over herself.
No.
If it happens, it happens,
You
bruh.
just want the money at this point. You want your revenge. You want to get what's yours.
She wants a payout.
Oh.
She's done with this place, and she's going to take... She wants
this
a bonus
like,
times
She's
12.
got her three levels
deep planning.
Yeah. But she's got
Kung Lao, Owen...
She's got Kung Lao under her branch, so she's got to get the kickbacks from Kung Lao, and he gets his money.
I see what you mean, because I just thought that was a euphemism for something.
Amway!
I mean, it might be. I think we've nailed this.
For oil pumping?
Yeah.
Is that what that?
Yes.
Amway for oil pumping. Moving on, we've established the answer, and May is clearly the real villain.
She villain.
Clearly.
She's the villain.
All right.
Good job, right?
Great job, everybody. We have to ask this question.
Uh-oh.
How does the physics in this world work? Now we have to talk about the jet engine that they use to make sandstorms and drive transport trucks around. It's not even it's like a transport with a flatbed, but it's not something important. because and we didn't even dive into the French and grenades, and I don't know if we want to go there. When the French attack them,
we'll go there later if we have time.
They're not worth it.
Sacre bleu!
Okay, let's just vote the physics.
Forget 'em.
Pick how does this work? Someone explain to me how physics works.
See, when you have a poutine, right? You put the gravy. You make sure the cheese curds.
I just want you to
present,
know
and then
that's
you
not
put
French.
the
That's
gravy.
Quebecois, and it's very different.
Listen,
My wife
I
would
accept
murder
that
me
it's
if I didn't
different.
say this.
True.
well, thank
I think
you
it's
for
in
that.
his.
But at the same time,
no, it's on his prenup.
And my
I'm pretty
sister-in-law, I think too. She's on
who
she's on
listens
the
to
other
this
side.
podcast? Really?
For the reverse
Who
reasons.
listens? Do either of them listen to this?
My wife's been a guest on this podcast.
Nobody listens to this.
No one listens, but she's been a guest on the podcast. Or the old podcast.
Not on this one.
This
Focus.
The old one.
Just focus. The old one. Who knows? Don't change the subject on me. Answer the question.
I have a right to know what takes place on this podcast. Anyways, this cool. I'm sorry I missed her. You see, the French.
We're not talking about the French. We're talking
not
about
talking about the
physics.
French. What is wrong with you?
We're talking about physics.
So the true answer to your question is physics doesn't work in this movie.
Okay, fair enough.
But I think it's like what I was saying in the beginning. It's video game physics,
True.
right? Like
Why it's
you know when
Looney
you're
Tune
you know when
physics.
you're playing a video game and there's like something you need to do as part of like the tutorial, and no matter how badly you fuck it up, it happens.
Yep.
So that's the harpoon
Okay.
from the buggy onto the bus.
Yeah.
100%. But that's scripted. It's a quick time event. You just have to press square and triangle and square again, and everything.
Even
just
if you
happens
miss
for you.
one,
Yeah,
it still
2 out of
happens.
3 is close
Yeah.
enough.
yeah. So that's the video game physics in the beginning, and then it's the rule of explosions are cool. So when you hit an oil tanker going on a perpendicular trajectory from you, when you hit it, it explodes because it's made of explodium.
Uh-huh.
As everybody knows, trucks that carry oil are made of explodium.
Doesn't matter where you carry it. In the back,
no,
in your
no,
fuel
and
tanks.
it doesn't matter that just impact doesn't ignite oil in any way. But also, once the truck that's behind the truck you hits your truck, it immediately does a pole vault like a fucking Olympian, right?
100%.
And like it not only does it stand up right, but it flies over.
And it doesn't explode right away.
No, it explodes a couple of seconds after it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then, you have John Cena fucking ejecting like a projectile out of a window, like
A
we
cannonball.
said, and just
Crash test dummy.
he gets up, dusts off his pants, and go. Whew, that could have been a disaster.
Hoobastank.
Yeah, so I think we've established this is Metal Gear.
I told you it was Metal Gear. I fucking
All
knew
of that,
it.
all of that at the end was like one of
Let it go,
Kojima's
Lorenzo.
like 45-minute cutscenes.
Tell
That's
me-
what that was.
I said, let it go, Lorenzo.
was
No, I don't. I won't.
Tell me-
Prove to me it wasn't.
It's not Metal Gear. I'm telling Spencer all of this when he
Unless
comes back.
Kojima,
Metal Gear, the lost levels. That's
unless
what that
Kojima
was.
comes out and tweets specifically he did not write or was not involved in Hidden Strike in any way, you can't prove
Yeah.
that it wasn't Kojima.
Exactly.
I'm going to check the IMDb cast, and I will thwart your
No,
bullshit
that was
now.
just a pseudonym. You don't understand.
Yeah.
Listen,
Private consulting.
unless I see if I see a Seymour Roas in the cast, then you're in
While you're
trouble.
googling, we're gonna move on from this question because Luciano's cracked the code. I do have other
Right,
questions.
it's a shitty 90s video game.
It's a shitty 90s video game, 100%.
All right.
Let's
fair
talk
enough.
about the French. Chris, you were so desperate to talk about the French. Let's talk about them. The French
I'm not desperate.
show up to the little satellite cave. Close enough. And they are looking for the money for the weapons that Henry bought. And they see Jackie Chan and Chris fighting each other, and they decide to walk back out. But they get to their cars, and they shoot the shit out of the place and then run away. You're led to believe that it's because Chris and Jackie Chan chase them off with grenades and such, but there's no way those grenades did anything. I want to know why the French had to leave so quickly. This is where I think Chris talks about Putin, but I'm not sure. He's too busy trying to prove Kojima wasn't part of this movie.
See how he pronounces Putin now? He gets slapped upside the head if he pronounces it any other way.
That's right.
See, the ancient Mayans.
Oh no, this shit again.
Don't worry about it. Let me cook. The French team was hungry as fuck. Okay, they like once you run out of bullets, you've got to reassess your resources and ask the real hard questions. We're this close to the highway of death, right? Henry's not here.
I feel like that name needs a riff, like a guitar riff, every time we say it.
It does feel that way. Henry's dead. Do they even know that's his brother? And do they care? They tried to kill both of them. So they unloaded all their bullets and needed to assess how much time they had left before the sun goes down. We might as well get back and get something to eat.
Buffet before it closes down.
Reload the weapon. Yeah, I'm hungry. Let's go get some baguettes.
Correct. And punch a hole in it and stick a wiener in.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You know what? We could provide context, but we're not gonna.
We just do a couple of oil pumps and then be done.
You know, that's how many seconds of oil pumps into the baguette?
Couple. One.
Yeah, one or two.
Just one?
One or two.
Gets the job done.
Okay.
Very efficient.
Oily.
Any other? I don't care. We're moving on. We don't have enough time to. This is good enough for me. I have more important questions to ask. The oil wars. Who? The oil wars. What? The oil wars. When the oil wars. Why the oil wars? And most importantly, wherefore art thou, oil wars?
I think the oil wars are not like they have this sort of like in the back where it's like all about like petroleum. I think that's a misdirection. I think it's a war between several different types of oil.
I don't want to go here.
Lorenzo.
You really don't. Lorenzo baby. Grapeseed.
Lorenzo Lamas.
What about olive?
Wait, what? Lorenzo Lamas has an oil too?
Well, someone's got to get paid.
I was going to say essential oils. And
linseed.
Well, I mean,
oil.
Now we're just listing oils. So I think what happened
Chris, you're better than that.
No, I'm not.
None of us are.
I do whatever for the cast. Now let's see.
Yeah, I think that's what the escalating oil wars was. Is like the one oil to rule them all. That's what it was.
Wraith oil.
And then
welcome to the oil hour, where we just name different oils. we got sesame oil, flaxseed oil, coconut.
Where'd that flaxseed oil come from?
Oh dear.
Coconut oil. Is it jarred or is it bottled?
It is jarred.
Jarred
Coconut oil. I don't know where this accent's going, but now I'm JFK.
Yeah,
like Boston.
I have no. Yeah, I was gonna say is JFK goes to Jamaica.
I'm
Spencer. Like
Spencer's channeling me. How do I get to Christopher Walken from here?
Well, you know. That's all that everybody knows how to do. It's oil. I like it.
Coconut oil is good for you. Moving on. Let's.
You give it a few seconds.
Oh my God.
Of pump. And it's good. You know.
We did it. We don't want to be here. No one wants to be here. Let's finish this up. We are at time, but we do need to give some reviews to this bad boy. We rank these movies on our patented, time-tested scale of a tiered system. S is the top.
Our patented.
Shut up. It's ours now.
with the quickness.
We go from S all the way down to F. F is the lowest. For context, if you watch Morbius, you should consider that an F. Some people don't. We're not here to debate that. That's a different podcast. It was the first one. You should listen to it. But let's talk about Project Hidden Extraction Strike. Luciano, how are you going to rank this bad boy?
Oh boy. So this is a movie that managed to make action scenes with John Cena and especially Jackie Chan boring. It has no real story. There's more holes than plot, and the comedy is forced. The writing is atrocious. I wish I could have my hour 45 minutes back in my life. Is this as bad as Morbius? No, because I think that a movie needs to actually try to be bad to be that bad.
Wow.
But it's close. Like I wouldn't knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have watched this. I would have done this podcast episode.
Now that's what should go on the VHS prop. If I knew what I know now, I would not have watched it.
I would have done this podcast episode pretending I had watched it, and it would have been fine.
Oh, the Spencer, as it were.
Yeah, I would pull a Spencer.
Okay.
This is an E for me.
Fine vintage.
Yeah.
Almost an F. The reason why I'm not giving it an F is because, like I said, there are some genuine moments where I left a little bit here, a little bit there, and John Cena and Jackie Chan are charming.
Yep.
And like they have a good banter. But yeah,
All
that's the most I can do for it.
E for effort.
Yep.
Chris.
If not for our podcast and the joys of coming together to talk about what we co-experienced, I would have probably watched this and been more angry. But having watched it, knowing that it was a shared failure, made it more enjoyable. So don't worry, it's not going to be a D. And it's not a C. It's excessively exhausting. It's still an E for me.
Nice.
All right.
Still an E.
Yeah.
It could have been an F, but because I was coming to hang out with y'all and talk about it, that's why.
At least I'm not suffering alone, so that makes it better.
Correct.
Good
I
as,
see.
Okay, shared
as
trauma.
good as reason as any. Shared trauma.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, listen, people.
You don't want to
Don't
be out
watch
here
this.
in these movie watching
do it.
streets.
Yeah. Exactly.
do it.
Exactly.
Go
Don't
home
watch
to
it.
your
do it.
pets,
Help it.
wives, friends, husbands.
Give them a
Family,
No,
loved ones,
hug
video
your
games.
loved ones. Tell them you love them.
Yeah.
Because
Hide your wife, partner, hide your
Hide 'em all.
kids, and do something else. Listen to turn on the radio and find
because
something.
it's TNT.
Oh my God! Don't do that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This is why we do this for you. You could watch these movies
You
ahead
know.
of time. You probably shouldn't. Just let us tell you about them, and then you know about them. You never have to watch them. I will make this a clean sweep for the E category.
Nice.
The thing is,
E for excruciating.
it's not an F because there are such scenes and situations where the action isn't that bad and the banter is okay. If it didn't just reverse the thing it said immediately multiple times, it could have maybe got to a D if it just had to followed like fucking paint by numbers generic action movie. But it didn't. But it wasn't the worst thing I've watched. And good for you, Hidden Strike.
What? Talk about faint.
What?
Talk about
Good
faint
for you.
praise. Of all
That's
of the
what you-
shitty things that are shitty, it's not the worst.
You said,
That-
and I quote, if I knew then what I know now.
Yes. That's
So
already
don't
been
fucking
printed.
shit on my faint phrase.
Listen,
I have the Photoshop
wasn't-
file
I
now,
wasn't
okay?
faintly praising.
Luciano?
I was dunking on it.
Listen, and that dunk birthed one of the greatest quotes ever. If I knew what I know now, I would not have watched it.
Yeah.
You can't write better than
Maybe
that.
we should have named our
Based on
podcast
what we were
that, if
given.
we're honest.
That's
We should
true.
call it VHS or some shit.
Nah, if
No,
I-
we should call it
VHS for that ass.
hindsight is 2020 is
Yeah.
what we should call this.
no, I like the long and wordy title. If I knew then what I knew now, I would not have watched that movie.
This is our new bumper.
That's what we do here.
This is like, yo.
Okay.
Okay. Shit. There was something else, but
Yeah, it's
yeah.
fine. We're moving on.
I was trying to find your VHS piece but it's okay.
Now we're past that.
You said good for you. You said good for you. good
yeah.
for you, Hidden
Good-
Strike.
Good for
That's
you.
what could have gone
Yeah,
on.
that's good too. Good for you, Hidden
for
Strike. You're not the worst.
You're welcome. That is it for Hidden Strike. May we never talk about this movie ever again.
Ever again.
Ever again. Until Hidden Strike 2 comes out, in which case we'll definitely watch that for you.
We'll probably watch that too.
Boy.
Because you
I
hope
actually
for
wanted
John Cena and Jackie Chan, you know?
a prequel called The Escalating Oil Wars, and then somewhere else in the world it would be called Project Oiling the Bitches or whatever.
I hate it. I only want John Cena and Jackie Chan to win.
This is why you have to let me end this podcast, because if you don't, you keep stalking.
You get turns like that.
You get that shit that happens.
That's not even worth Lorenzo's oil.
We're done here. Finally. We are next week going to, we haven't done, so facts are the movies we watched, as you all know, fantasy, action, comics, some put comedy in there, some put some other C's, thriller, and sci-fi, and we really have slacked on the science fiction. So we are going to knock off a number of those letters by watching Avatar, The Way of the Water, a.k.a. Avatar 2. It is streaming somewhere, I don't know, HBO, who owns it? Disney. It's on Disney Plus based on what I'm looking at right now.
Go fucking find it. It's streaming somewhere.
The Stephen Lang vehicle, Avatar: The Way of the Water.
What it is? Is that what it is?
He died in the first one. I don't know how he's back. We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Yo, Stephen Lang. I feel so bad for Sam Worthington. That mother can't get a leg up.
Yeah.
Wow. You're just gonna do him like that, eh? So we're gonna watch Avatar. We're gonna talk about it next week on the podcast.
That's gonna be a long episode, I think, given the movie.
You called it the
time.
Stephen Lang vehicle, but it's all good.
It's the Stephen Lang vehicle. It's gonna be a really long movie. We might talk a bit longer on. We don't know. Maybe we're gonna find out.
I'm gonna speed it up.
If we had known now what we knew after we watched that movie,
doesn't get that award.
We wouldn't have watched
it. We're gonna find out.
Facts.
All right. We'll see y'all later.